Hello, welcome to Newscenter. With me, Parikshit Luthra. Our focus today is on the RPG Group company, CEAT. The 65-year-old company is one of India's leading tyre manufacturers with a presence in over 110 countries. CEAT has over 7,000 permanent employees and 7 manufacturing facilities. The company clocked over 9,000 crore rupees in terms of revenue in FY23, and this figure was down nearly 6% in FY23, but up 13% year-on-year. On the export front, the company was also impacted by the macro headwinds. Joining me now to discuss the change in management and the company's growth outlook and its expansion plans is Arnab Banerjee, the new Managing Director and CEO of CEAT. Mr. Banerjee, thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC-TV18. Recently, about a month back, there was a management change at the top level with Anand Goenka resigning as MD and CEO and taking on the position of Vice Chairman. Could you guys give us a sense of the thinking of the board and the promoters behind this decision?
Yeah, good evening, Parikshit. Yes, what you're saying is true. So Anand decided to step up into a larger role in the RPG group. He's now looking after Zensar, CEAT, as well as group strategy and new businesses for these two companies as well as for the entire group. So when this transition was decided upon, the CEAT board deliberated upon succession planning. I had been there in the CEAT board along with Anand for over 10 years now, and I had been in CEAT for a long time, handling various roles. So internal succession planning would allow for continuity of strategy, processes, and thinking. And it's definitely a plus that the board thought about, and that's how it all came about.
Right. So you're saying that this had been in the works for some time now?
Yes, as I said, I've been part of the board for a long time, handling various roles and responsibilities along with Anand. And most of the stuff in terms of strategy, purpose, vision of the company, we're a TQM-based organization. All that has been jointly designed by Anand, me, and the entire management team. So yes, this is not an all of a sudden decision.
Right. You're saying this is not an all of a sudden decision. What will be the role of Anand Goenka now in terms of guiding the company as Vice Chairman?
As Vice Chairman of CEAT, Anand will be providing his inputs on strategic matters, on capital allocation decisions, as well as new businesses as and when we evaluate it. Apart from CEAT, as I said, he will be doing the same function for Zensar, which is part of the RPG group, and overall strategy for the group, as well as new expansion possibilities of the RPG group is what Anand will focus on.
Right. Take us through your immediate priorities as MD and CEO of the company now, Mr. Banerjee.
Yeah, as I said, a lot of continuity you can expect because we have been jointly operating the strategies and the vision of the company. As far as I am concerned, at this point of time, we are sitting on a huge opportunity of operating leverage. We are coming to the end of our capex cycle. So we are sitting on possibilities of going up on volumes on two-wheeler, on passenger cars, tires, on TBR tires as well. There's a huge opportunity for us also to expand our global footprint, which I shall be focusing on. We are accelerating our US GTM, for example, stepping up our play in Europe as well as Latin America. In passenger segments, continuing our past strategy, we would like to consolidate our market leadership in two-wheeler space in the domestic aftermarket. We would like to accelerate our market share gain towards being the market leader in four-wheeler tire space. And we have upside in terms of operating leverage on TBR side as well. So growth acceleration is the priority at this point of time.
Growth acceleration is a priority at this point of time. Give us a sense of your outlook for Q4. In terms of Q3, we saw a dip in revenues, possibly because of the export slowdown. What would be the cues that you would like to give us for Q4?
Q4, as you know, the results are expected soon in the first week of May. So I guess we'll have to wait for that time to see what we declare at that point of time.
Right. But as far as the export pressures are concerned, do you think that pressure that you're seeing in international markets, lowering of demand, those pressures continue even now?
Talking of global markets, various segments, we have a significant presence in in agri markets, agri radials, passenger car tires, and TBR. Overall, there is a slowdown in Europe, but that's an opportunity also for us to grow because we are positioned as a value brand in Europe. We are seeing US going fine, and for our agri radials. For passenger and TBR, as I mentioned, we are going to accelerate our GTM, which is going to happen in the next financial year. LATAM is doing fine. So barring Europe, where there's a spot of bother, I think our outlook is positive overall for our brand in the global market.
Right. I would also like to ask you about your outlook on capex for the coming, for this fiscal. Would there be investments in more capacity expansion or increasing the company's footprint in India?
Yeah, as I said, we are coming to towards the end of our capex cycle. We have had a huge capex over the last 2-3 years, and this is the tail end. Only capacity expansion that is going on is at Ambernath in Maharashtra, which is the agri-radial capacity, where we are expanding to about 150 tons per day. Apart from that, it is an opportunity for us to use up our expanded capacity and go for growth. So no fresh capacity apart from Ambernath that is coming up in this financial year.
All right. So you're saying that now the focus will be on growth, no further capacity expansion. How do you see the demand outlook as far as the various automobile segments in the domestic market go? Do you see a softening of demand in any of the segments?
Well, April, May, June is the peak season of for tire sales. I think we are seeing decent demand and uptick in demand in the commercial space, both in aftermarket as well as in OEMs. It's recovered the ground that was lost during the COVID period. In four-wheeler space, passenger tire space also, we are seeing stability of demand. It's not growing at a very rapid pace, but it is positive, and we are optimistic about that as well. There is some softening of demand in the rural market, in the small towns for two-wheeler, and with the prediction of a good monsoon, we are hopeful that post-monsoon period, the rural demand uptick is also going to come about in the two-wheeler space, and also for the farm tire space.
Okay, my final question would be on the electric vehicle segment. What is your view on increasing production of tires for EVs, and what kind of order book do you foresee for FY24 for your electric vehicle customers?
Yes, so this is a very initial trend that we are seeing of electrification across categories in the country, but I'm sure this is going to pick up pace, and all the infrastructure things that we are talking about also will catch up space. We have been preparing for this for quite some time now, and we have an offering in two-wheeler. In two-wheeler, in the OEM space, we already have more than 50% share in electric vehicle tires, which is mostly scooters. Replacement demand is yet to come up. In the four-wheeler space, we are operating intensively with several OEMs for development of electric vehicle tires. We have been one of the first brands to be approved by the commercial vehicle OEM players. So we have an office also at Frankfurt, as you know, which is very much active in developing, giving us inputs for developing these tires. So we are all set and ready in terms of technology, in terms of capability, and in terms of manufacturing capability, capacities, as well as in terms of development of the brand in this space. And we are pretty excited about participating in the electric vehicle space.
And very briefly, could you give us your growth outlook for FY24?
FY24 first quarter, of course,
FY23 first.
overall, it's very difficult to predict because of so many uncertainties, geopolitically speaking. We are optimistic about our growth outlook overall. I think there's going to be a better year in terms of top line over the past year.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Banerjee, for joining us, giving us your growth outlook for CEAT and also the thinking behind the change in management that happened in the company a month back. We're going to take a short break here on Newscenter, but coming up on the other side, Supreme Court here